I think we need to vote James Clapper for president. Our director of national intelligence was recently testifying before the Senate. Now, there's been an uproar about the NSA caught spying on not only our enemies, but our allies. Well, that's what spies do. You get as much information as possible from whatever source you can get it from. And he told the senators it reminded him of that Casablanca line. Oh my God, there's gambling going on here? I thought that was a great line because it's truth. The man, James Clapper, has on two occasions flat out just told the truth, and our Congress doesn't want to hear it. Back in 2011, when the Libyan rebels were first engaged with Muammar Gaddafi, uh, they asked for his assessment. Now, this is his assessment as a security professional, as somebody in the intelligence business. What do you think? Who's going to win between Muammar Gaddafi and the rebels? And he said, without any assistance, Muammar Gaddafi and his tanks and airplanes are going to win. And I remember the uproar back then from the Senate. How can you say this? It's demoralizing. You asked a question. He gave his honest answer. I know in Washington, D.C., honesty is probably the rarest commodity on earth, but that's what you want from an intelligence professional, your honest assessment. You know, it reminds me of that old line about a politician. When do you know a politician? How do you know a politician's lying to you? Well, it's when his lips are moving. You know, this brings us back to that Libyan incident, and most recently, I have to tip my hats off to CBS because finally they're giving the Benghazi Gate the news coverage it needs. That recent 60 Minutes article is some good work. There's more to be found here. For those of you that aren't aware what happened, we lost 400 shoulder-fired rocket launchers. We gave them to Libyan rebels, hoping that he'd shoot down Muammar Gaddafi's planes. Well, when they won, our ambassador had to go back and collect them up because you don't want 400 of these shoulder-fired rocket launchers floating around. Well, unfortunately, the people we gave them to are Al-Qaeda affiliates. You know, we've been aware for some time the black flag of Al-Qaeda has been flying over that region. So to come out and tell a bold lie like they did before the election, that this was due to a YouTube video, it just is insulting. And the fact that CBS at that time sat on numerous stories regarding what really transpired. Everybody's acting like we've never seen this before. This is almost a carbon copy of the Sandinista and Ronald Reagan. There's things the government does that we have to do covertly to help our enemies and the friends of our enemies. And sometimes it gets to be messy. Well, unfortunately, we paid a dear price for it. But what we paid even worse was the fact that there was no honesty in Washington. Hillary Clinton got to stand up there and lie with the president with immunity because we have a media that has forgotten what their job is. So to James Clapper, I really appreciate you standing up there and telling them, hey, that's what spies do. We listen